Hello, my name is Allison Kaczynski, and I'm the founder and president of the SATB2 Gene Foundation. Thank you to those of you that were able to join our live presentation last night on April 2nd, 2026, about our upcoming Conference 101 info session. Unfortunately, Rachel and I were so excited that we forgot to hit record. So I'm going to do a quick recap of the presentation from last night, add in the Q&As that we covered there. And then if you still have questions, please reach out to us at our conference email address or visit our website. So we'll get started. This presentation is just a quick overview of for first-time attendees or returning attendees of what to expect at our 2026 SATB2 Associate Syndrome Family and Medical Conference. Let's see. So whether this conference is open to anybody in our community, so whether you're a parent, a caregiver, an extended family member, a school teacher, a therapist, a medical professional, anybody that is connected to an individual with SATB2 associate syndrome is welcome to attend our conference. You're part of a deeply supportive and understanding community, and this conference brings together families just like you, our medical and research experts, therapists and educators, advocates, and our support networks. You're not alone in this event, and conference is designed to help you feel that immediately when you walk through the doors. So a quick look at this year's conference. In 2026, we will be hosting in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. We do only host every 2 years, so the next conference will be in 2028. As it shows on the screen, we'll be at the Embassy Suites in the Oklahoma City Downtown Medical Center on July 22nd through the 24th. So it is a Wednesday through Friday. So what we do and we'll dig into the agenda in just a moment, but we have a welcome reception on Wednesday evening, followed by 2 full days of sessions. We do have a room block at the Embassy Suites, so it is definitely critical that you book within our room block so that you can get access to the discounts that we've negotiated, and that we get credit for your room reservation as well. As an organization, we are obligated to book a certain number of room nights, and the only way for us to get credit is if you're booking within the room block that we have set up there. Let's see, let me make sure. And then what to expect. So this is, as I was mentioning, there are a lot of different aspects to it. So we will have educational sessions, we will have family social time, we will have opportunities to participate in research, to enroll in the clinical registry, and then also more parent-led roundtables. And again, I can't impress upon the opportunities just to connect and be around other families. So I'm going to dive into exactly what that looks like here on the next slide. So inside of our days, so this, and I'll dive into a little bit of the topics here in no particular order, but on the high level look here is on Wednesday evening, we do our registration, and based on a lot of feedback that we have had, we're adding in a small welcome reception. So with some light appetizers and hors d'oeuvres, we do still suggest dinner on your own, but that'll be a great time to start connecting with the families right there in the hotel from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. On Thursday and Friday will run pretty similar. So we will have 2 full days of sessions from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. We do break for lunch, and we do provide that as part of your conference registration. Childcare is an additional option for those that are seeking the childcare to place your, whether it's your SATB2 child or a young sibling into childcare so that you can focus on the sessions. So we do have that. On Thursday, after we conclude all of our sessions, we get one of our amazing group photos to show everybody that's there. And then we do have a family social that evening. So dinner on your own, come back for desserts and just a fun time of casual gatherings with the families. So we'll have games, we'll have arts and crafts, we'll have music, but really it's just a time for our families to connect, the kids to be together, adults to talk, and just a more relaxed environment. And then we repeat again on Friday. So just minus the social in the evening. So we will run full sessions and roundtables from 9 to 3. I did want to highlight some of the sessions that we are um, going to be having. And you can always visit our new updated website, SATB2conference.org. We're adding the information there as quickly as we can as we secure speakers. But we will, just a quick highlight, Dr. Zarati, that most of us all know, will be making at least two different presentations, both about the clinical and for aspects in clinical care of SATB2, along with some research updates. Katie Pasenko, the genetic counselor from Arkansas Children's Hospital, will be joining us. She'll be giving a precursor of, I like to call it Genetics 101, but helping prep us to understand all the not only a child's genetic report and maybe learning the type of mutation or deletion that your child has, but then also helping to prepare us for all the information that will be coming from the more expanded sessions later that day and over the next 2 days. We're looking to have a parent-to-parent panel the road ahead. So there are so many amazing parents in our community that we need to learn from or that we can learn from. And so as parents of younger children, we want to hear from the parents of our older children. We want to know what life is like. Continuing on the success from 2024 and our recent announcement earlier this year, Dr. Lisowski will be presenting a gene therapy update that is specific to STATB2 associated syndrome. We will be having Dr. Bottoms from the Arkansas Children's Hospital. She is the psychologist to talk to us about behaviors, and we're going to follow that by a real life panel of parents to really discuss the strategies there. Other topics include charting your life course, so look ahead for planning as our SAS kids age. So what does it really mean after we've set up the guardianships and the special needs wills and trust, right? What does that look like? Whether that's finding housing placement, finding care for our children as we as parents start to age, what does that look like? And then, of course, future planning, special needs wills, trust, and guardianships, and some AAC offerings. New this year, one of the really exciting feedback that we had gotten in previous years is just how important those parent-led roundtables are. So we are having an expanded version of roundtables. So they'll be offered throughout each of the days to ensure that there's a continuation of something that, if we're offering some AAC 101, then what does that look like for our older parents? So we are positioning stuff so that hopefully we're hitting the interest of everybody, no matter where they are in the diagnosis or age. But our expanded offerings will include topics from puberty, sleep challenges, IEPs, AAC in real life, our DED discussion group, building your village, finding community supports, life post high school, new to the diagnosis, and meaningful adult life, and more. One of the things that we're going to do also on Friday is instead of running any sessions Friday afternoon, we're going to run all roundtables. So we'll have 30 to 40 minutes, and then you can switch, and we'll do that over the course of an hour and a half to really add in a lot of the topics and then ensure that our groups don't get too large, that we can offer the same topic twice and people can split and attend. But what we want to do, or what we are doing, is we really want to hear from the people that are going to be there in person. So when you register in your registration confirmation email, there is a link to complete a roundtable survey interest form, so that we can understand what is the people that are going to be there in the room with us, what is really important to our attendees. While we aren't going to be able to guarantee every topic is covered, we really want to take that to really curate and build that roundtable offerings that we will be having. So. Childcare. So this has been a big topic. So one of the really exciting things that we've been able to do over the last several years is offer the childcare. And this year, just like in 2024, we will be offering the ability to have childcare for your STATB2 child and younger siblings during the sessions. And so we've contracted with Jovi, who is a professional childcare agency there in Oklahoma. All of their sitters are vetted, certified, CPR trained, And we will be hosting a training with them ahead of conference to really make sure that they understand the needs of our children as a whole and kind of what to expect. But they're really working to ensure that they're handpicking the caregivers that will be there in the rooms with our kids. So we do have limited space. So childcare is prioritized for individuals with SATB2. Our minimum age that we can accept is age 3, regardless um, of if they're a sibling or if they are one of our SATB2 kids. So our age range that we can accept is ages 3 to 17 years old, and we're asking for siblings ages 3 to 9. We found that in previous years, some of our older siblings really just ended up not going into the childcare room because they were content, hanging out with the other older siblings and or in the back of the rooms and playing their video games and connecting with each other. So we want to ensure that we're getting the space there for the families that really need it. Um, as I said, it'll be offered Thursday and Friday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. They will close for lunch. So as parents, we will check our child out. We'll be responsible for feeding them lunch, which is provided by via your conference ticket. And then we can check them back in for the afternoon sessions. And then when you're registering for and you're purchasing your ticket, you will have the option to add childcare on. A conference ticket for your children is still required in addition to the childcare add-on. The conference tickets ensures covers the meals and the socials and some of the other activities that we're doing. And also this year, I want to mention Jovi has the ability, if you have an older child or you're not comfortable putting them in a room with 40 to 45 other children, there is an option to do private hire. You would have to arrange it directly with Jovi. We were working to get that information added to our website. There'll be a code for a discount. So with that code, it would bring it down to $40 an hour. And this is a great option. Again, also maybe if you just need a little extra help in the evening or in the after conference hours are over. So it's an additional add-on that you can coordinate with Jovi directly. Sponsorship. So of course, it costs a lot of money to do our events, and we work really hard to secure sponsors to offset the cost so that we're not passing off the full cost to our families to attend. So if we invite your business or any connections that you may have to help work with us and be a sponsor. We have different sponsorship levels as low as $250 all the way up to $10,000. Exhibitor, which the benefits vary. I'd be happy to speak with anybody, but it does provide an opportunity for visibility, for recognition, logo placement, attending the conference as well. And so if you are interested in this, please reach out to us. And again, any connections that you have, every dollar that we are able to receive helps tremendously to offset the cost of this. And then next, a question we've gotten is people want to help and volunteer, and we certainly need that as a big effort to put on the conference, which is why it's hosted only every 2 years. So we have our welcome bag and raffle items. So we're always looking for items to include in our raffle, an additional way to secure some extra funds while we're there on site together. And then, so what we do is we do a welcome folder for all the adults. And then we do bags for the kids. So we look for items that will help, coloring books and crayons and fidget spinners and things that aren't terribly messy, right? For our kids to keep them occupied and have some fun there. I was asked last night how many to expect. We usually make about 150 folders and about 125, 140 bags for the kids. So if that's something that you're interested in, we have a running list. We have a sample letter. We can certainly coordinate with you to ensure that we're not going and asking the same companies for any donated items. And then also, it takes a lot of work to set up to make all those folders and all those goodie bags and put our name name tags together and just get set up on Wednesday morning before all of the fun starts. So if you happen to be arriving to the hotel early on Tuesday or early Wednesday, we will certainly put you to work. We also need people during the conference to help man some various tables for us. So if you're interested, reach out to us. You can send us to an email to the conference at step2gene.org and let us know how you want to get involved or and then we'll get you connected with the right person on the board. Um, Somebody did ask last night though about shipping, so it kind of just depends what the item is. Whether you have the ability to bring it with you or whether we need it shipped out ahead of time. So again, just send us an email and we can coordinate that. We do usually open up an Amazon wish list as we get closer. And that's always been a popular way for families to help support us. And it's from items like our folders that we need to some, things to put in the welcome bags and name badges and whatnot, just the essentials to make sure that we are putting together a great experience. And then in here, so early bird ends on April 17th. So we still have some time to take advantage of the early bird rate. And so we encourage you to go ahead and if you know you're coming, go ahead and secure your spot. If you haven't booked your hotel room, I definitely encourage you to book your hotel room as well. There's nothing charged immediately for via the hotel. So go ahead and get that booked. And then but like I said on here, registration closes on May 31st or sooner if we do reach capacity. So if you know you're coming, again, go ahead and get in there, and we hope you can join us. I encourage you to visit our website at step2conference.org. We've worked really hard to build as much information in there as possible. And let's see, let me go through some of the questions. I know one of the big questions that has come up is for our um, older families with older SATB2 kids, is there what's there for them, right? And so we do, as an organization, we do work really hard to make sure we're balancing the priorities of our families, the ages and stages. One of the really unique opportunities we have is again with the roundtables. We have seen a great success. Stephanie Watkins has been leading our monthly STEPy2 adult parent virtual meetups once a month. We've had a great meeting with her to really dive into some topics, both sessions and then also the roundtables. And then again, there's just so much that we want to learn from you. I say we because my daughter is 11 and a half years old. We want to know from you guys what has worked, what hasn't worked, what does the road ahead look like for us. And so again, once we start building these parent panels, we'll build them based on who we know is coming. So there'll be opportunities to be a panelist, to help us present, to lead roundtables. And so I do really encourage all of our families, regardless of your child's age or abilities, to come and join us. There was a question about childcare. Childcare is not required. We do encourage it if you feel that you have the need for it. So some of our families just can't concentrate with their child around them. My daughter is very social, so she loves being in the childcare room as well. But there's no way I would ever be able to take my notes and really focus on conversations or presentations. So we leave that up to each family to decide what the right fit is for you. We are a very welcoming environment, so there is a lot of activity that's going on. We do record, so if it does get a little too loud, we may just ask you to step out in the hallway or sit, opposite side of the recordings to make sure that we are able to get a high quality recording. And then let's see. There we are still working on and seeing if we are able to offer a live stream virtual option. Our priority is always the in-person experience before we're able to kind of go to the next level of coordination. So once we're able to know that, it's going to be later in April or early May before we know that. So make sure you're following us on social media and that you're on our email newsletter as well. let's see. There was a question about who if extended family could come in place of the family, the parent, and so Bethany, yes, that is absolutely an option. I think we cover that. We do have people coming early for the hotel, so I've seen people the room list of many people already checking in. With Tuesday check-in, so a lot of people come in Wednesday though, and leave Saturday. So um, is up to everybody on their comfort and travel levels. What is around the hotel? So the hotel is right on the medical center complex, so there's not a lot right there. When I was out there about a year and a half ago, taking Lyft and Uber, the ride shares were incredibly easy to do. So I would, as a short about it, like maybe a 10-minute Uber ride over to an area called Bricktown. And in there, there is absolutely everything that any of us could possibly want to do, from huge video arcades to tons of restaurants, a little water taxi, a bowling alley, a movie theater, a baseball park. Although I don't think there's any games happening while we're there, but there is a lot to do right there, and it was very easy to get around. The hotel does not offer a shuttle from the airport to the hotel, nor does the foundation. Again, getting the Uber was very easy for me. I think it was maybe 20 or $25, and it was about a 20 minute or so ride from the airport to the hotel. And so it's people have asked if they should rent a car or just use Ubers. I really, it just depends how much you want to go out. Once you're in Bricktown, it was very easy to get around walking wise. And then there's also a trolley that goes around the Bricktown area. We've added a lot of this information on the conference website about what's in the area, so definitely check that out. There's some really cool things in Oklahoma City, from the Native American museums to the history of Oklahoma. So I really encourage getting out and exploring. Um, let's see, what to expect as a new to the diagnosis family attending. This came up, and I wish I was able to record what Nicole shared, one of our families. It is an emotional experience. You just have to kind of come in and ready to be embraced and meet a lot of families and know that you're in a spot where you're going to be accepted, where every question that you have will get answered. You might get a lot of hugs, and there may be some ups, highs and lows, right? But it's a really amazing experience. I remember the first conference I went to back when we very, very first started, and there was a much smaller group, but my daughter Caitlin, I think at the time, was 5 years old. And she went up to another girl with SATB2 that was similar age. And like, and they just hugged, like they never met each other. So it was a really amazing experience to see the kids knowing that they're around other individuals that are just like them. I remember always trying to apologize for Caitlin and saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry she did that," or let me go grab her out, get her out of your way, and parents just being so accommodating and saying, it's okay. Like we all, we're all on this journey. We all understand this. And so it's really a collective effort, and a really incredible experience that you just can't replicate. So, but from there, there was a lot of information. If you still have questions, please, for starters, visit the website, stat2conference.org. Send us an email at conference@stat2gene.org as well. There is a Facebook group for conference attendees. So even if you're on the fence about coming or you need help coordinating something, there's a lot of chatter in there about coordinating rides from the airport to once we get closer, people coordinating about going out to dinner together, maybe going and seeing the botanical gardens or doing outings together. So it's a great spot to connect with our families via Facebook. It's SAS conference attendees. Just Google that in your Facebook group search and you'll find that, and send a request and we'll get you added in. But I look forward to seeing you all in Oklahoma City. It's going to be a wonderful experience. And I'm excited for this, and I look forward to meeting all of you. Thank you.